For this episode of Converter Unknown, I meet up with Dave and Tom Birsen at the CATSTRAP headquarters in Ohio. Enjoy. Guys, thank you for letting us walk through. We're excited to see how it's made.
Thanks for coming.
And I'm excited to see the cat eye, which we've never really talked about. So, can we go in?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, I've seen this a lot. We've helped sell a lot of these, and we've sold a few of the cat eyes. But can you explain to everyone what the cat eye does, when it got invented, all you can share? Yeah,
so the cat eye is an infrared sensor that gets mounted underneath the vehicle, and basically what it's doing is waiting for someone to crawl underneath your vehicle. It senses them and then activates a 130 decibel siren, which is beyond the threshold of human pain. So it's a hostile environment.
It's loud
underneath the vehicle, and makes them get out of there essentially. And at the very minimum, doesn't give them enough time to spend all the energy and time under there to cut through any type of deterrent that you have protecting the converter.
So does this get mounted under the vehicle then? Is that where it goes?
Kind of looking front to back. It likes to kind of have a field of view, kind of a panorama of what's underneath the vehicle, kind of like a flashlight beam. So it likes to look from the front to the back and just kind of surveys underneath the vehicle. So it works up to about 15 feet or so. A little bit of smarts involved in terms of like delaying the reaction, the siren, until it makes sure that it's actually a real input as opposed to a leaf or wind or whatever. So we try to make sure that there's no false alarms.
How much R&D was involved? Like from the first time you guys came up with the idea to like where it is today, and like how many different versions of it has there been?
I guess this has been around. The cat eye has been around for I guess about 2 years now, with some iterations. Basically the same format, but just trying to fine tune it to make sure that controlling the false alarms and making sure the reliability is there, and consistent performance.
And you guys make that all in house?
Make it in house here. Yeah.
Yep.
These guys right here are putting it together.
Right, yeah. Make sure that it's all U.S. made as far as the labor and assembly is concerned. So,
do we have one? Do we have a complete one somewhere around here?
Let's go grab one from over at our testing station.
Okay.
So here we have a finished cat eye at the testing station, which we'll usually put our caps on so that
Is that just for the testing purposes?
So we don't hurt ourselves with hearing damage. So this is where we go through and make sure that the sensor is correctly detecting motion, but not too quickly where a false alarm is at risk.
Because this is active right now, right?
This is active. Has about a 30-second kind of calibration period where it's warming up, because it just got turned on. But it will begin to start detecting any motion that's in front of it. There it goes. Yeah.
And I heard it earlier without that on there, and that thing is...
Yeah, it's painful.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah. Especially in the confines of... a room like this is actually bigger than being underneath a vehicle, but, having the underside of a vehicle and the ground, that sound just, kind of creates an echo chamber under there.
They all come with the key fob?
Yeah.
To turn on and off?
Yeah. Okay. So we do have an automatic version that has a voltage sensor in there, so it detects when your ignition is on, the alternator is charging your battery, and it, your battery voltage jumps up. It automatically disables itself, and then when you turn off your car, the battery goes back down to its the resting voltage, and it rearms itself. So that way we can.
But you have a manual one where you have to arm it?
Yeah, and the fob gives you the ability to take manual control if you ever want to, but aside from that, the automatic version can, function so that it's automatically taking care of itself.
And Tom, you invented the CATSTRAP, am I right? That
correct,
came
yeah.
from, and how did you invent that? Like, how did that start?
Well, I was an automotive repair shop for many years, and I think it was back in like 2009 or so, our local vendor, it was a Napa dealer actually, they got hit. Wiped out all his stores, drilled all the gas tanks, stole all the converters, and we came up with, a rudimentary strategy to help him avoid any further problems. We wound up playing around with the internet and sold a few. And
how many different versions of that has there been? Probably a lot, right?
A lot, a lot of changes over the years.
And they all had their purpose, so they all helped protect it. They all did the purpose of, of deterrent. Like, it's going to be a deterrent, but the better the deterrent, the more likely people are just going to say that, oh shit, I don't want to mess with this. And
ultimately, I mean, I think that's what we categorize a real success as, is they don't even try. That's why, we've got the bright colors. You look underneath the vehicle and you say, there's something definitely different about this, and let's move on.
And and if they did try, the product's good enough where they try it and then they say, oh fuck, like I've already used 4 Sawzall blades. Yeah. Time to move on before I get arrested.
I'd have to say, I mean, I'm actually really proud of the product at this point. Kind of embarrassed about looking in the back in the past and saying, gee, that's what we had to offer. But it was evolution. It's definitely a great product right now.
We love the product. We believe in the product, and we've helped a lot of our customers with it.
Yeah.
Were you with him in 2009?
I was off at college.
You were going to school.
I actually did my senior entrepreneurship project on the CATSTRAP.
Oh, really?
In college.
Owner of our company, Brett, did his senior project on United Hauling.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a similar story.
Yeah, me and my buddies, we put together our PowerPoint decks. And
awesome, man.
It's kind of funny. But and then, you fast forward 8 years into the future, and all of a sudden it really takes off and goes from this side project to a full-blown company with 10 plus employees, and really a strong demand, and solving a problem that people are need a solution for. So
I got the guy to come back to Toledo, Ohio.
That's awesome.
That's all I care about.
And you're building them back here?
Yeah.
Can we go take a look?
Let's take a look. Yeah.
All right, Tom, Dave, where should we start? Like, where do you want to start on the process of getting this thing done?
So basically what we're seeing here is the outer shell of the strap come together, and then the internal metals, which makes it really difficult to cut, are going to meet it. But basically what we see here is that outer shell being sewn together. So the black side is going to have the heat-activated adhesive material.
And that will stick to your exhaust under your vehicle.
So that's what's going to bond, especially along the hot spots, like the converter body itself gets super hot. That's what creates that bond, directly to the exhaust pipe and the converter body, and then the opposite side is that bright fluorescent orange material, which we really want that there to be that obvious visual deterrent. They look under there and they see, man,
and
there's
that's
something
why you
weird.
used a bright color?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So nice and bright orange. It's kind of it's an alerting color.
Mm-hmm. And he just has to sew all of them. You started from scratch basically with all the products, and you sew them together.
Yeah, it all starts from scratch. We roll on that adhesive layer onto the fabric, and this is all. The fabric is intended for exhaust applications. It's exhaust heat wrap used in like high performance, like hot rod industries to keep the heat inside the.
Have you always used that same Did you always use that same material, or do you use different materials?
The material, I think, has mostly been the same because it's such a extreme environment with temperature. There's only a few materials that could ever hold up to that amount of heat. This has the material itself has been pretty constant. The evolution has been more so on the metals that are inside that make it so difficult to cut.
So some of our customers or people on social media see a photo of the wound up one, and they think it's literally like a roll of tape. So I know it's not a roll of tape. People we can show to in person know that. But what goes inside of it? Like, what goes inside of it that actually protects the cat?
Yeah,
Where's that at?
Take a look at that.
Okay.
All right.
So what are we looking at, Tom?
Okay. Well, this is actually multiple layers of cutting blade steel. It's custom designed by our manufacturer to actually have a Rockwell hardness of about 55, which is harder than a high quality cutting blade, Sawzall cutting blade. And we have a patented process here, and basically the patent hinges on the fact that we don't have a static design. It's actually part of the strength of this is the fact that it actually is movable. It actually reacts to the cutting blade.
Rather than using one thick piece, it's on purpose to have three individuals, right, where they're sliding around.
The patent is based on a movable barrier, something that's responding to the cutting blade.
So those multiple layers, you kind of imagine the teeth of the saw blade. They'll grip one layer and then it tries to reciprocate back, but then when it comes back down, that layer smacks on top of the other layer, and it kind of repels the blade, or like recoils it a little bit. And the net result is just that you try to cut and it's bouncing around on the edge of this, the edge of the strap.
And I've seen some of your tests you've shared with me, like they're awesome. Like it is really cool.
It's a big pain to try to cut through, and you do need multiple blades. And
you think like 4 or 5 blades? You're not really. It depends.
Yeah, right? I mean, we tried to test with the highest quality blades we can find, and at a minimum 3. But I think your average, you probably need 4 or 5 at least of fresh.
And you got to cut both sides too.
You got to cut both sides. You got to know when to change your blade when your teeth are dull. Otherwise, you could just keep going.
And if they're cutting it and have the alarm, they got to do that with that shockingly loud.
Correct.
Alarm in their ear, Okay, and how do you guys get this in that?
Yeah, let's take a look. Okay.
All right, this table is where they do the final assemble of them.
Yeah, so here you're kind of seeing the metals unite with the fabric that was sectioned and sewn together, and so this is where we insert it into
on this end.
Yeah.
He's got a pack.
Yeah, and then just sliding those in, obviously pre-cut to match the length of the fabric, and we'll.
How long are these?
These are all 7 feet long, which is our standard length for most gas engine vehicles.
But you also have a 12-footer?
We do. Yep.
So after he does that, what's the next step? To crimp the end, sew the end?
We staple them, but basically, you button up the open side of it and make sure it's both ends are closed, and then we'll typically roll them into a coil, and for shipping purposes, to get them nice and compact.
Yeah. Well, we saw the roller too earlier. I don't know if we could watch someone roll one.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
We can roll one.
So we saw them roll them, and I just think it's a great product you guys have made.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. And you guys are shipping these all throughout the United States?
Yeah, the U.S. and Canada.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you guys. We hope to keep doing it, and I know. hopefully we get to do a follow-up episode with some more products you guys have been working on, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Mm-hmm.